even though this is the happiest time of the year for some, it is not for others, and it can be also a time for epic fails, the things that make you laugh now but didn't in the moment. Tori, you said there was a funny one earlier.
Just shout out to Lauren, my BFF forever. Her hair was gorgeous, big, and when you light those menorah candles, it caught on fire, but we stopped, dropped, and rolled right into some more Hanukkah love. So it was a big fail. It could have been worse, but we really did. We took fire safety seriously.
Yes.
What night was it?
I think like night 6. So we had different, like 6 or 7 different menorahs.
The flame was burning.
The flames were burning. Strong. And Lauren will never forget it.
And she's okay.
She's great. She loves the story.
Sharon told me to tell you.
All right. So our next guest has found the funny in the craziness of the holiday season, and he isn't afraid of bearing it all, from sweet moments of nostalgia to hectic holiday dinners. Please welcome to DBL, Danny Pellegrino.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. I wore it's not an ugly sweater. It's actually vintage, but the scarf is built in, so I feel
totally
extra
works.
festive.
Oh, that's nice.
Totally
A
works.
built-in scarf.
I know if I get a cool scarf, I'm going to leave it at the restaurant. I like that it's just built in.
Yeah. It's
Right,
actually
don't got to worry about losing it.
right. Multitasking,
I love it.
efficiency. Hi, Danny. Your book, The Jolliest Bunch, is hilariously honest about the holidays, and we wanted to know what made you want to pull out all of these memories and put them into a book and not bottle them deep down inside.
Yeah, well, I love the holiday season. I think there's so much emotion and chaos, and it feels like everybody, I've just got off a tour, and I've been hearing from so many people who have their own chaotic holiday memories because there are so many emotions attached. The truth is always stranger than fiction, and I tend to find the funny in all the chaos around me. So I really wanted to put this book together to be comfort in the holiday season for people who maybe are looking for comfort in the holiday season, something that can make them laugh, feel like a warm hug. It's sort of like my version of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation in a book. So each chapter is its own little story.
Oh, I love it. Well, you know, what do they say? Tragedy plus time equals comedy. So I have to ask you, are there any stories that are funny to like look back on, but were not funny in the moment?
Yeah, of course. Yes. There was one actually at Thanksgiving where I traveled across country with somebody I didn't actually know. It was like a friend of a friend.
Excuse me?
And yeah, I know. You should
crazy.
not get in a car with a stranger. But I did. And I traveled from California to Ohio, and a lot of chaos ensued. I mean, there was a gas station mishap that I write in the book, and there perhaps were some other things involved. But it was a woman named Claudia. And by the end of it, I ended up loving this woman. But in the moment when I perhaps was worried about getting arrested at a gas station, which people could read about, it was maybe not so funny. But I think we can always look back on memories and hopefully have some laughs. And there's a lot of family stories in there as well. And so I think sometimes those family memories in the moment feel so emotionally charged, but we look back on them fondly and laugh at them.
I love that because, in fact, you share a lot of stories, to your point, about your family, especially your mom and dad. Did they like being called out in your book?
Yeah, I mean, I hope people realize that I do it lovingly. I worship my parents, and hopefully they're watching. Hi, Mom and Dad. But I hope I tried to do it respectfully. But I think really ultimately at the end of any of those family stories, I think people will really see the love that we have for each other, and so there are hopefully some big laughs in there. But I really wanted to get across how much I love them, and my mom in particular. She always did everything she could to really make the holidays special, and I think that's why I have such an affinity for the holiday season. And so she can maybe she could maybe get a little overwhelmed at the holiday season, let's say, but ultimately she loves it, and I love her.
Who doesn't get overwhelmed? But this book has everything from heartwarming moments of loving your inner child to a raunchy fictional story of Mrs. Claus getting her due. So which was your favorite to get on paper?
Okay, so there is one chapter that's a little bit different than the rest of the book. It's a chapter about Mrs. Claus taking the sleigh and picking up her girlfriends and going to Las Vegas and having a debaucherous, sort of bad Santa-esque night with her girlfriends. And so that chapter was really, really fun because I was looking at the holiday movie landscape and I was seeing all these movies about Santa, and I mentioned bad Santa, but there's countless tales about Santa Claus, and Mrs. Claus is always just sort of a peripheral character. And so I thought to myself, what's a night her night And so it was really fun to explore and have some fun with that chapter.
awesome.
It's my favorite.
Way to sell it. Way
I
to sell
love
it.
that.
Danny, you are everything iconic like your pod. And before you go, you're an ultimate Bravo-holic, and so am I. That's how I was first introduced to you, through a mutual pod that you guest on. So speaking of wild dinner parties, which Bravo party made you laugh or cringe the hardest?
Okay, well, I'm so happy I'm amongst the people, my right kind of people, because I love Bravo. I love all that craziness.
Yeah.
And there was, in particular, on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there was an Amsterdam dinner. It was
Yes.
infamously the one where Kim Richards is yelling, "You beast," and it's so good. You guys have a clip of it. It's so good. It's so cringy. It's so funny. It's so dramatic. It's kind of everything that we love from the Housewives. And so it's just a fantastic TV. If people haven't seen it, go watch it. Watch it with your family around the holidays, and you'll have some laughs.
Should we talk about the husband, right? That's how that got. Yeah, should we talk about the husband?
I'm surprised he didn't name the psychic, though. Remember the psychic?
Allison.
The dinner party from
Allison Dubois. Yeah. With the fake
Allison
sig.
Dubois.
Yes.
Know that. Know that.
And that was right, Danny. Thank you so much for stopping by Deviant Nation. Make sure to pick up Danny's book, The Jolliest Bunch, Unhinged Holiday Stories. You can also listen to Danny's podcast, Everything Iconic. Thank you again, Danny. Happy holidays.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Great
you so much
sweater.
for having me. Truly a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.